Identity and control? Well, it depends upon what you identify with, though. See, there's another point here. It's true that our nature is to identify. That's why, the duality is created. We identify with thoughts, we identify with emotions, identify with the environment, identify with what is present in the moment. That is the nature of being in a manifested form. So we cannot help that. So what we call identity usually is what I think I am. But then there is a real identity. And that is the I that is not personal. So whenever a person says I, they mean themselves. They mean their ego part. I am Burt, for example. You see, that's a concept. I've been given a name and a form, and I've identified with this name and form. That doesn't mean that that's not around. But my true nature, when I look at the album when I was a baby, I remember that I was that baby. At least I've been told I was that. So therefore that baby became a teenager, and then it became a man, and the body went through 3 recycles. So did the personality, so did everything else been recycled. But what makes me know that I am that person in the album? When everything changed. I cannot say this body is real, because this body was a teenager. It was totally different, absolutely different than it is now, or as a baby. So what makes me know that I was that child in the album?
Memory?
Hmm?
Memory?
No.
Being told.
Memory is changing. Being told, but there's a continuity of awareness. Okay?
You don't feel any different, really.
You don't feel different. There's that, very good. You don't feel different. It's just like, I've said this before, but I'll say it for those hearing it for the first time. If you look into the mirror, and every minute is a year, after 20 minutes, 20 years have gone by, your body has changed tremendously. Everything around you is decaying and dropping off, but you're still the same being looking in the mirror. Your face is different, your body is different, everything around you is different, but the same looking, and you're not different. The body is different, you see? And if you happen to be in poor shape, you really feel it. You feel old age. But the thing is that you're still the same. If you didn't have a mirror, and you didn't know about years, you still feel the same all the time. You don't see the change. And that's why change is not real. The changeless is more real. Because it is the changeless that is constantly, continually, in a constant state of awareness. And that is what is real. And that is your reality. Now, if you identify with that, that would be your identity. But normally, we identify with that which is transitory, right? Which is a memory, which comes and goes. I identify with my body, I identify with my name, I identify with my accomplishments, I identify with what I've been told, with my religion, with my nationality, etc., etc., etc. But in truth, I am awareness. And when we get down to that awareness, we find, what is it? Love itself. Why is it love? Why is awareness a love? I'm just looking here. I'm just being here. Why is it love?
Because that's the nature of being.
Oh, okay, but what makes the nature of being that love?
I'd like to say God, but I never really agree.
Well, God is a beautiful name, but we think of it in terms of religion and church, you see. And that's why we have atheists. In truth, there are no atheists. Because what is an atheist? It's someone who doesn't believe in the God of the church. You see? God is love, period. God is a beautiful name. I have nothing against it, really. I don't use it simply because there might be a misinterpretation that I'm talking about in religious terms.
It's simply the Anglo-Saxon word for good. That's all it is.
Good, God.
God is the Anglo-Saxon word for good.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's where it comes from.
Oh, okay. I take your word for it. Yeah. But even good, it sounds a little limited. What do we mean by good? Because a person can be totally fully realized, totally enlightened, and they could commit acts which we consider not good. Do you know what I mean? And that's a fact. Like, for example, Punjaji in India, he was a great holy man, but he would go into outbursts of anger. You see? But was it really anger, or was it a form of reaching people who could not be reached otherwise? See? So there are ways in which we call, the act is not good. So good and bad are really relative terms. But love has no opposite. You see? Because you can put goodness in love, but you can call badness in love too, and still be love. Do you understand me? Love has no opposite. And that is the beauty of love. You know what I mean, there's no opposite? Suppose right now you're feeling fearful. It's the opposite of love. Suppose right now you're feeling really bad. It's the opposite of love. But what if you're feeling love? Because if you even love the badness in you, if you love the wickedness in you, only the love will remain. Love is so powerful that it will swallow everything up into its bosom. You see? It is complete. That's why God and love are synonymous terms. They're one and the same thing. Yeah.
If there's no opposite to love, which I'm beginning to understand, why is it though that we lack love?
We don't lack love.
No, but
We don't know we are the very thing of love. But we don't lack it. We cover it up. And the reason we cover it up is because we want it so desperately. See, the more you want love, the more you are saying subconsciously. You see, that's why needy love is selfish. Because needy love is saying, I need your love so that I can feel okay about myself. You see? But when you begin to realize you are love, no matter how you act, no matter how you think, no matter how you are, that if you realize that, that's how transformation happens. Transformation doesn't come because you're good. Transformation comes because you love. You see? So I repeat this. You can love other people and it's wonderful. People can love you and it's wonderful. But the greatest love is loving the unloving in you. You see, that is the greatest love. That is unconditional love. And when you start loving every part of you, no matter how you are, good or bad, it doesn't matter. When you love, the transformation happens automatically. You don't even do anything. That very love itself will bring the change. Will bring it automatically. And this is something that you can feel. This is something that you come to know. That the moment you start seeing love in everything, and you feel that love, that strength of it, you're not going to keep a gauge, how should I act? How should I have talked to this person? Oh, maybe I should be nice. I'm a very spiritual person. I should be smiling all the time and I should be nice. Hogwash. That brings stress because it's unnatural. But just know that love is what is real. Love is your true nature now. And let that be your guide. And let everything else just come. You know, the most beautiful thing I find is when a client comes to me and they tell me, you know, I've got this fear and I'm really caught and blah, 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 blah. But they're very honest about how they are feeling. And in that honesty, there's openness. And in that openness, there's a humility. You see? And I begin to see changes. When people are totally open and totally real and authentic, I begin to see changes in them. But when they start putting on an act and pretend that they know something, or then it just doesn't happen. You see?